Hello, everybody. Hello, everyone. How are you guys doing? I am live. I'm adjusting my seat. I am live. I am live. So we're going to be talking about this subject today. How many more lives is it going to take? How long or must we continue to endure everything that's going on? I mean, it's so much going on in the world. I'm going to share this broadcast, and so you guys come on in, and while you guys are joining and come on in, I'm going to just go out and kind of share this broadcast and bring some people in. We're going to talk about it. How long will you wait to repatriate? How many more lives will it take? It's a lot going on, guys. And so, family, if you have been watching the news today and yesterday, you are just as disturbed as I am by everything that's going on. So come on in the broadcast. I'm going to share this over on Facebook and let everybody know that I'm live. This will be my second live today. I'm working, y'all. I am working, honey. 9 to 5. Gotta make a living. I'm working, y'all. I'm just really heartbroken by the news of what's going on from Minnesota. If you hear some feedback, I'm just turning this down, guys. But what's going on from Minnesota? We just had a let's see, let me turn this down. Sorry about that. We just had some news that someone just got shot here in Memphis. So I'm saying welcome, everyone. All right, welcome. So I'm just gonna grab this link right quickly and then go over on Facebook and share it so that everybody will know that I'm live. So I hope you're doing the same while I'm sharing. I hope you'll go out and help me spread the message about me being live today. And yeah, so we can let's talk about it. Sometimes the best thing that we can do is to talk about what's going on, and to talk about what's going on. It's really all we can do. Talk about what's going on and kind of see if what we can do to strategize and kind of think this through, because look, this just continues to happen. And so, how long are we going to continue to allow this to happen and just continue to fight in America when when we're just constantly dying? We're constantly being, no matter what we do, whether our hands are up, it's the same thing. Whether we are going about our day being as kind as we possibly can, it doesn't matter. No matter what we're doing, we are being murdered at an alarming rate. So much so, sorry, I was looking at that, guys, but so much so that we're losing track. You got to keep up with the names, and are we being desensitized at the same time that this is happening? Are we, because it's like, so much is going on today, and it just happened yesterday, and now here we are, that this same thing is just happened in Memphis. We just had across the newscast, my husband was telling me that we just had another shooting in Memphis, and that person survived, but they've been taken to the med. And then, of course, Jacob Blake. Let's talk about it. Please share. If you're watching the broadcast now, please share this and let somebody know that I am on live. And I'm just wondering, really, how long is it going to be? How long before we repatriate? How long before, we continue to allow this to happen over and over again, year after year after year, life after life? How many more of us have to die? How many more people, innocent people, have to go before we get the message that this place is not for us? That this is not for us, that this is not our place, that this is not the place where we should be, where we're going to be safe here in America. And is it not time to start thinking about an exit plan and getting an exit strategy? How long? How many more lives? How many more people have to go? How many more people must we lose before we understand that it is time? It is time, our time, to find an alternative to living here in America. We seem to really welcome everyone, and you can, if you want to come on the stream, I would, really appreciate it if you want to come and you want to chat and you want to talk about this with me. I would really appreciate it. So just come on in to the stream. I'm going to put the link so that you can talk about it with me. And yeah, that would be great if you'd like to come on the stream. So let me just go ahead and put this in here. Come on live and talk with me. All you have to do is just click the link. Click the link. And I'm going to drop this link in here for you guys so that you can chat if you'd like to chat. All right, so we got all that business done. That took a minute, y'all. So this is what we're talking about. Our topic is, how long will you wait to repatriate? How many more lives will it take? We keep seeing countless numbers of our people murdered by the police. This is unacceptable. Yet people in other races are not experiencing this. When they are, have to be brought in for, for whatever reason, they're, brought down and brought in. When the police have to encounter other races, they're not murdered. They're not, no matter how many guns they have on them, no matter what kind of fight it is. We've seen, other races within the cultures and ethnicities within the United States fighting the police, even shooting at the police, and they are not hit, they're not shot. Nothing. But when they encounter a Black person, what is it that makes a person, even with their hands up, people are shot in the back? What makes someone do that? How much more will it take for you to repatriate? What is the message that we're being sent? That we feel like, we're not hearing the message when people are saying to us, you might be safer somewhere else. Why is it that we're not getting this message that there is a whole world out there? But somehow we feel like we have to stay in the United States, and we have to continue to build and stay in the United States. We have to continue to give the United States all of our time, all of our talent, all of our gifts, and then and then here we are, where at the end of our lives, when we have, when everything has just passed, I had to go and invite some more people, but when everything has passed, we're older, like I am now, I'm in my 50s, and now it's like, now you want to go. Well, and that's great, but when will we realize that we have an alternative, that we do not have to stay here? We do not have to work and be afraid and wonder if our family or someone we know will be next. We don't have to do that. We can go. We can leave. I mean, I really want to get that message to you. There are so many other opportunities in the whole wide world, not just Africa, although I think Africa is an amazing alternative, and amazing opportunity. We're going to talk about that in another broadcast. But please tell me, why is it after everything that's happened? So what just happened here recently? Let's open this story. I was waiting on my computer to open it, but you know, so much is happening. Okay, this story with Jacob Blake, who was paralyzed. I mean, really, I mean, you know, how much more is it going to take? He's paralyzed. He was shot by Wisconsin police. The family says so. How much more is it going to take? How much more is it going to take? How much more is it going to take? I really want to know. I want you to answer this question for me. So I'm going to share this story. Let's see if it's going to share right. To let you see. It may not share. So let's see. Let you see it. See if it's sharing. I hope it's sharing this story. All right, there it is. So, no, it's not sharing correctly. It's not sharing the way it should. Let's see. Let me Google it and then I'll bring it up. Let's see. What's his name? His name was, oh, here it is. Jacob Blake. Okay. There it is. Let's see if we can pull it up. So pull it up without it playing the video. Let's see. So Jacob Blake is being paralyzed. It has been paralyzed, his family says, after being shot 7 times. Okay, let's see. Are you guys seeing this? Oh, okay, there you are. Okay, there it is. So Jacob Blake needs a miracle to walk again after being shot 7 times by the Kenosha police, attorney says. All right. This is crazy. So Jacob's mom says violence doesn't reflect her son. Let me see. Okay. Jacob Blake, a man shot multiple times by police in Kenosha, Wisconsin, has been paralyzed, and his family is hoping for a miracle, their attorney says. It's going to take a miracle for Jacob Blake to ever walk again, Benjamin Crump told reporters. The 29-year-old Black man was undergoing surgery Tuesday afternoon, 2 days after police shot him at close range as he tried to enter an SUV. In the vehicle were his 3, 5, and 8-year-old sons. Blake's father describes the shooting as a senseless attempted murder. They shot my son 7 times. 7 times, like he doesn't matter. But my son matters, Jacob Blake Sr. said. He's a human being and he matters. How much more? I'm just, you know, how much more? How much more is this going to take? You know, how many more lives are we going to have to lose before we understand that we have an alternative and we can leave? We don't have to take this. Our lives matter. Our lives matter. How much more? How much more? How much more is it going to take? How much more must we endure before we realize that we have other, we have other options, and that we can get out. We don't have to stay here. For some reason, we feel like we have to, we have to stay here. And so you don't have to stay here. How many more lives will it take? How many more people are going to have to be shot or murdered by the police? What is it going to what's going to have to, happen for us to wake up? When are we going to wake up? When are we going to wake up? I mean, you tell me. I'm just overwhelmed. I'm just overwhelmed by, everything that's happening, because I don't understand why we're still having, to have this same conversation over and over again, multiple times. Why? It's like, George Floyd wasn't enough. Trayvon Martin was enough. Why do we have to continue to have this conversation over and over again? I mean, I really want to know why this has to happen. Why we as Black people have to have this conversation over and over again. And you and your community may be having this conversation. Okay, that's fine. But I'm actually talking to African Americans. I'm talking to Black people. I'm talking to ABUS, FBA. So if you're having that conversation in your area or for people where you are, that is awesome. You should be having those conversations. That is awesome. You absolutely should be having those conversations. So, what is it going to take, right? What is it going to take for us to decide that we are not going to endure this anymore? We're not going to endure this anymore. We're not going to endure and go through this anymore. So, that happened, of course. That has happened. And now in Memphis today, here we are. Let's pull that story up. Let's see. I'm going to remove this one. Let's see. Let's see how we add another one to the screen. Let's see. Can I? I want to add this one. Okay, so remove from the screen. I want to add another one. Okay, there it is. Okay, so share screen. Let's see if I can find this other story of what's happening here in Memphis, the Memphis area where I am. Okay, if that's not enough, right? So now the TBI, which is Tennessee Bureau of Investigation, is investigating shooting involving U.S. Marshals, of the U.S. Marshals Task Force in Memphis. Task Force was trying to arrest a murder suspect when the shooting occurred. This shooting occurred today, August 25th, 2020 at 3:42 p.m. So you just had the issue with Jacob Blake. Now you have this issue. Now, this particular one does not name a race, but I know this area. I live in the Memphis area, Mid-South area. So I can tell you from where this person was, I can tell you that they most likely are African American. So the story says Memphis, Tennessee, agents with the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation are investigating a shooting in Memphis Tuesday involving a U.S. Marshals task force. According to TBI's initial investigation, it happened around 3 p.m. at MAPCO on Elvis Presley Boulevard near Alsea Road, okay, just north of the I-240-55 exchange. Now, I can tell you, knowing where this is, that this is a predominantly Black African-American neighborhood in Memphis. The U.S. Gulf Coast Regional Fugitive Task Force were trying to arrest a murder suspect after finding a vehicle believing to be connected to him. TBI says members of the task force surrounded the vehicle with their own cars. The driver, later determined to not be the murder suspect, reportedly tried to get away by backing up and ramming nearby vehicles, including at least one civilian's vehicle. So here they are, the TBI members of the task force surrounded the vehicle with their own cars. The driver, who was determined not to be the murder suspect, then reportedly tried to get away by backing up and ramming nearby vehicles, including at least one civilian's vehicle. TBI says a marshal shot the driver, who then ran from the vehicle, but officers arrested him across the street. TBI says the driver went to the hospital, but his injuries are not believed to be life-threatening. No law enforcement officers were hurt. Memphis police, Shelby County deputies, ATF agents, and U.S. Marshals were all on the scene Tuesday, which is today at this time of taping, Tuesday afternoon. Investigators have identified the person shot Tuesday. Investigators have not identified the person shot Tuesday, nor have they named the murder suspect. So they didn't even look. Here it is. Joe Birch is on here. They didn't even have the right person. This wasn't even the murder suspect. It was just a car they believed to be. This was just a car that they believed to be connected to the individual. Now, okay, so the person is driving this car, and then, of course, they shoot the car. But, you know, we've seen so many times where people are apprehended by putting those spikes up under their tires. There's so many other things people can do that, I mean, just the constant that you just shoot, that you just fire. There are no sort of tactics being used to de-escalate the situation, to blow the tires out, to do anything except directly shoot the individual. And even though he doesn't have life-threatening issues, he's not even the person that they're looking for. And why this person ran, why this person did whatever they did, who knows? But you know, the issue is this is not even the person. And we see when other races are being detained by the police that they are able to be, hey, Keisha Gwen Timbers, how are you doing? They're able to be detained in a much more peaceful fashion. But yet, whenever we as Black people or Black people come in contact with the police, for some reason, guns have to be used, multiple rounds of shots have to be fired, and our people are, you know, being held to these, you know, standards of, you know, and being killed or being murdered, or they're being, you know, these consequences where, you know, they're hurt or having to go. I just don't understand. You know, I don't get it. I really don't understand. And here we are on, Gwen, tell me, what do you think? You know, here we are as a people tied to this land, tied to the U.S., tied to living here on the continent, as if place to go. This is the same fight. I'm asking you, how long will you fight? Gina, if OA talked about this earlier today, I just had this conversation with my husband and I had this conversation earlier today and I'm, really on a soapbox right now because, if you want to come on live, I've left the link. You can come on live and talk about it with me. And so I'm just, really wondering how long is it going to be before we as Black people, as African Americans, wake up and say enough is enough. Enough is enough. Enough is enough. And when will we begin having plans to repatriate, plans to leave this continent and go back to the motherland? Because we don't have to be here, but for some reason, we're stuck in this idea. Just click on the link and you can come on if you'd like to join me. I'd love for you to join me. So just click if you'd like to come on. But, for some reason, we feel like we have to be here. We feel like we have to stay here. And there are other opportunities in Africa. There are 54 countries that you can relocate to and you can go. Tonight is the RNC, the Republican National Party. I bet this will not come up. And if it does come up in the speeches, it will definitely, most certainly come up in a very negative manner because the National Guard has already been deployed because we are protesting. How much longer, how many more protests and how many more signs are we going to have to raise? How many more signs are we going to have to create? How many more names are we going to have to put on the signs? Trayvon Martin, Michael Brown, how many more signs? How many more names are we going to have to put on there before we decide that enough is enough? It's not up to someone else's decision. That decision is up to you. For you to say, you and your family to say, enough is enough. For you to say, I don't want to raise my children like this anymore. I don't want my grandchildren or great-grandchildren to have to grow up where I have to have the conversation with them about, where to put their hands and how to put their hands up if they're encountered, by the police. And yes, sir, yes, how to say this, have this whole conversation. When will enough be enough? I'm just really, almost pleading with you to really start making some plans to repatriate, to really start making some plans so that you can go forward and so that you can make plans to get to the continent, because we have been fighting this fight for far too long, for over 500 years. Since the first enslaved people were brought here in 1525, we have been fighting this same fight and having this same conversation. And so tell me, please, how much more will it take? How much more is it going to take for us before we decide that enough is enough and that we can move on? You're worth the opportunity to have the life that you dream. You're worth the investment in yourself and your family, for your children to be safe and to live in a place where they will be happy and they will be safe. As we look at what's going on even in the DNC with the Democratic National Convention and with Joe Biden, I haven't heard, maybe you have, tell me if you type in the screen, but we haven't heard anything from him about this shooting today, he or Ms. Harris. And so will we hear from them, and being the law and order candidates, what will they say? We're wasting so much time and so much energy because it's an illusion. We're working towards a systematic illusion. And we keep this illusion going. It's shooting after shooting. We just had the shooting a couple of weeks ago. In Atlanta? It's just on and on since George Floyd. We've just, even this year alone, how many shootings have we had? How many names? It's getting ridiculous. It's getting out of hand. And so in order to do that, you have to decide, hey, I don't want to be here anymore. I don't want to be, I'm enough for me. I don't want to be on this continent anymore. And I don't have to be. For some reason, we feel like we have to be here. And so we don't have to be here. We don't have to be here. We don't have to be here. And so what we need to do is just to decide, look, we don't have to be here. We don't have to be here. We don't have to be here. Hey, Synolve, just a quick stop as, as all I know is if those who have died at the hands of police were living on the African continent, 90%, there's a 90% chance they would be alive today. Thank you so much for stopping, Jackie. And it's absolutely true. If those same people had been on the African continent, exactly what she's saying, those people would be alive today, and we would not have to continue to have this conversation. Jackie, thank you so much for that. Thank you. I appreciate it, because that is just the absolute truth. Do you know that when the first enslaved enslaved Africans were brought here, that we outnumbered white people as slave masters. We outnumbered them in great numbers. And so now today you look at it and we're a minority. How does that happen? How does that happen? And then what is the idea that we have to stay here for some reason? It's been a thing of systematically over time, even after Reconstruction, even after the Emancipation Proclamation, that you had strange fruit. You had people who were being lynched and murdered. There were so many people lynched even here in Memphis. And so, I don't understand. We're fighting the things that happened in my grandmother's day and great grandmother's day, the lynchings and the murders and the killings. Those same things are happening today. We are fooling ourselves if we think that simply by protesting, by writing signs, that somehow all of this is going to go away and it's going to change. Rodney King. There's so many instances. He's getting beat down by the police. That was when I was young and I was first getting married. This happened years ago. And since then, there have been countless people who have endured even worse, Sandra Bland, who lost their lives for minor taillights out, traffic stops. George Floyd, $20 bill. Like, none of this is a death sentence. None of this is. If we were in Africa, most likely 99.9%, we would still be alive. And so why do we stay here? And what are we fighting for? What's so important here? Please help me understand. What is so important here that you feel like you need to fight? And how long are we going to fight? And how many generations will this continue? And so they give you little trinkets, right? So they give you a little trinket. So, during the, I was sharing this earlier today on the African Superstars channel. So earlier today, they give you little trinkets. So now, of course, we're able to be integrated and we can live in integrated neighborhoods. Okay, so there's no more segregation. We're out of segregation. We're not in segregated schools anymore. But we're still being murdered and we're still being killed. I don't want the trinkets anymore. Now, if you want them, take it. Okay? I don't even want that. I don't even, you know what? I'm at the point now, really and honestly and truly, that you can keep the 40 acres and the mule. Why? Because we've seen how over and over again. I'll take the 40 acres in the mule if you're going to give it to me in cash. But I'm just saying so I can get on out of here. But I'm saying over and over again, we are seeing that, for example, Beale Street was in Memphis was an all Black area. And now those people have been lynched, murdered, run out of town, rents raised, the building sold, all of this stuff now. And you barely have even one or two Black businesses, African American businesses down on Beale Street. You're seeing Black Wall Street, a whole town of people, lots of people murdered, people made to be refugees because someone else in other neighboring towns got jealous and didn't feel like, one guy said he was upset. They were upset because they saw a grand piano or a really nice piano in one of the windows of the houses in the area where Black Wall Street was. And so what? Black Wall Street, so they burned in Oklahoma, so they burned the whole town down and displaced all those African Americans that were there. So we get a movie out of it. Oh, wow. Great. Central Park was an all Black town or Black area. And so now what do you have? All those African Americans, Black people, they were all displaced, right? And so now what do you have? You have a park for everyone to enjoy. But they destroyed all of the homes and livelihoods and businesses of those people who live in Central Park. But yet we feel like we have overcome. We feel like we're pushing forward, that progress has been made. But every time we get together and begin to have some progress, they begin to push us and pull us back and farther back. And we lose all of the gains that we've had. Affirmative action, right? There's so many lawsuits. I mean, there's just a recent lawsuit of the university, I think it was Princeton, that they felt like affirmative action in the student process and allowing students to come in is damaging, I guess, to Mizzougal students. I mean, what sense does this make? Whatever gains we make to try to level the playing field in some way, they're destroyed or taken away. And so we have to have other options. Cheryl Ruth says the only thing that needs to change is how we solve the problem. Africa is a welcome reprieve, and it's nothing to be afraid of. Amen. I second that. Yes, it is a welcome reprieve. We need a place where we can go and think and breathe and be at peace and not have to be worried. And so what needs to be changed is our mind. Our mindsets need to be changed. We need to change our minds about how we see Africa, debunking the myths of what we've been told. That's what needs to change. I will sell that 40 acres, put that mule on a cargo boat with my stuff, and chuck the deuces, I'm out. What? Exactly. I'm with you on that one. I'm with you on that. I'm with you on that one. Yes. Jackie says, Africa is home with many mansions. Our ancestors and this generation have built the West. And now it's time to go home and build Africa. Yes, it's time to go home and build Africa. Enough is enough is enough is enough. Enough. I'm just enough. Jackie says, a lot of us are psychologically damaged, sis. Some of us want to leave too, but we're scared to make that step. I know I'm done. And that's from the inside. Look, honey. Woo! That's from down deep on the inside, honey. That's way down deep up in here. I felt that all in my spirit. That's way down. I mean, that's deep in your soul, honey. The ancestors are just calling. They're like calling. They're like calling. They're like calling. And we're worried about roads and streets in Africa. And we're worried about, how developed it is. And we're worried about recreating our, can we have recreate our same life over in Africa that we have in the West? Maybe releasing some of that stuff is the best thing that we need to do. Maybe releasing some of that so that we can have a peaceful, happy, enjoyable life. I said enjoyable. I don't even know if that's a word, but a joyful life. Look, some of us are so tired, as Jackie has said, is saying, we're so tired. How much more must we endure? So tired. And you know what's interesting about that, Jackie, is exactly what you're saying. The potential is immense on the continent. There's too much opportunity for, if not for us, at least for our children going forward. And that's what we need to think about, our children going forward. I wish I had done this so long ago. I wish I had took my babies to the continent when they were so much younger, because now they're tied into the Western system. And so now it's harder because, you have to kind of try to get them on the same page. And it's hard for kids to see, because I couldn't see it at 20. I did, even though at 20, I wanted to go to Africa. I did. But I got married and fell in love and all those great things. And I'm glad that I did. And so we have to really decide, what kind of future do we want to have for our children and for our children's children. And if we go and we establish this now for our families now, and we prepare a place for them now. This is what the whole thing of an inheritance, leaving an inheritance for your children. This is what we should be doing. We should be working on this inheritance for our children. And some of us, have struggled to do that here in the West, when it's so much more inexpensive and cheaper to do it on the continent. And we just have to decide that we are worth it. We just have to decide that we're not going to keep silencing the ancestors, and that we're going to listen to what they're saying. Yes, sis, Jackie says, I hear my ancestors telling me to leave, and it's deafening. Oh, it's deafening. It is for me as well. It's in the morning. It's at night. I can't sleep. I woke up early this morning at like 4 o'clock this morning, and I kept thinking, I need to pack. I need to be packing. And I keep thinking I need to go start packing up my garage. I keep thinking I need to pack. I need to get out of here. I need to pack. That is really all that's on my mind. I need to pack. I need to get out of here. Cheryl Ruth says, when I went to Ghana, every breath was a sigh of relief. The people, the land, the food, all support your being. Even the air smells sweeter. Woo! I've been listening to people say that when they go home to the motherland, that there are people that have a lot of anxiety, like I do, and stress. And so then when they go home, it's like what you're saying, Cheryl, it's like what you're saying, that they just, the air, right? The very breath, the people, the food, the land, the culture just heals them of all of the depression and the stress and the anxiety. And they don't experience the high levels of stress and anxiety that we experience here. They don't experience that. I think Gina Foe was saying that today. They don't experience, and I was in the clinical mental health program, which I switched to communications and PR. I love global communications. And so I didn't see that. I didn't see the numbers of, stress and depression like we are having in the West. And who would be stressed and depressed if every time you look around, I don't even know this person in Memphis who was shot. I don't even know the brother in Minnesota. But when the mom was saying, when the dad was, talking and the mom was talking, I was like, oh my gosh, I feel for this family as if they are my own. And they are my family because we're all from Africa. I mean, they are my family. And I feel my heart goes out to them. Jackie says, yes, the West has a grip on our young ones. I know, right? They need to be taken to Africa as a rite of passage. Yes, I wish I had done that. I do not believe there is one Jewish child who has not visited Israel at least once in their lives. Woo! To connect with who you are. This is a rite of passage, and we should be doing this when they're younger. I wish I had done it. It's something, Jackie, you hit the nail on the head. We have to do this because that was one of the things with my kids. Now, like I was saying, Jackie, here we are, to your comment. Here we are. I've put them, my husband and I, we put them in the Western system, in the Western schools. And now they're in college. Our son just moved to Boston. Our daughter, she's been to Costa Rica, but and she plans to travel more. But she's taken some African studies courses. But it's at this stage, they still see the promise of America in their 20s and as millennials. They still see, they're the ones out there marching and fighting, right? They're the ones out there with the signs. I went to a few, but I didn't go. I haven't gone to every protest. But when I'm looking at the protest, it's the millennials, the young people who are carrying it on. And at first I was proud, and I am still very proud of them. But I'm sad that their rite of passage is not Africa, but holding up a protest sign. Is this what we want? How many generations is this going to have to continue? When will we rise up? And when will we rise up? And when will we see that it's time to have a rite of passage that does not include holding up a protest time? Look, ain't nobody got time for that. We ain't got time for this no more. You hear me? Ain't nobody got time for this no more. We are done with the protest, honey. We are done. We are done with all of it. They can have it. Let them have. If they want to have the country, no more of us have to die. We need to get all our little coins together, help one another, and get on out of here. You hear me? You hear me? Let me get where I am. Tell us, Synolve, take practical steps towards our goal. Look, we got to take, baby steps. We got to take these steps little by little. I talk about this all the time. Where's my little bowl, honey? I done made me a GoFundMe page. Look I'm gonna put in the link. I made me a GoFundMe page to repatriate back to the motherland. I'm serious about this thing. And somebody actually yesterday, I put it out last night, somebody donated some money. I said, and she was the sweetest person. I said, thank you. Look, this is my little box to put my little coins in. I've been saving my little coins. Hubby had to wash the car, so we took the I think it was put air in the tire, so he needs some quarters. I took my coins out. Look, I'm putting my pennies, I'm putting my dollars, nickels, dimes, all of it in me a box, because we about to get up out of here. Y'all hear me? We're about to get out of here. We're about to take some practical steps. If it's selling whatever, it's doing whatever by any means necessary, honey, to get out of here. Honey, you hear me? Cheryl Ruth said, any inconvenience you have in the continent is a pittance in comparison to the daily thought of what you may encounter just because you're black in Babylon. Girl, that's a whole Black in Babylon. That's a whole that's a whole book. I hope you're working on this book, baby. If not, I'm going to steal this title. Let me write this down. Black in Babylon. Honey, Babylon is falling. Babylon is falling. And the problem is, we are so worried. I'm just writing this down here. Black in Babylon, we are so worried about Master's house and what's going on in Master's house and trying to get Master straight and trying to get Master to change his mind and Master to be a little lenient on us and not whip us so hard today and not kill us. What we sound like, this would be like if during the Holocaust, the Jewish people had gotten together to beg Hitler. No, they didn't do that. They got out. They were evacuated. They left. The whole world came to fight against them and stand against them. But you know what? African countries like Ghana are saying to us, if you're not wanted in the West, come home. When are we going to listen? When are we going to listen? When are we going to take those practical steps towards the goal of getting out? Because any inconvenience that we have on the continent is pittance in comparison to the daily thought of what you might encounter just being black in Babylon. Jackie says, Synolve, I can see you as a news reader in Africa, one of those prime broadcasting stations, or having your own talk show. You are a good communicator. Well, I just thank you, love. You're so sweet. I would love to be. I would love to be. I'm trying to practice with y'all now. I would love, that would be my dream. Yes. Thank you. I appreciate that. You are so kind, Queen. I just need you around all the time, so I can hear all this. I need more positive people in my life. Black Storm, stopping by to give you a big thumbs up. I was born and raised in Boston. Look, check on my baby. Can you go and check on my son and see how he doing? He need a good auntie up there. I need to know what he's doing up there anyway. Dorchester, Mattapan, Weymouth, and Randolph. Okay, I'm going to ask him about all these areas. I'm going to come back and I'm going to write my notes and I'm going to ask him what area, because he tries to tell me where he is. So look, honey, thank you. I'm so glad you stopped by, because that's what I needed, honey. That is what I needed. Now I feel a little bit better. We're going to see him soon. So I have to, keep y'all up to date on that. Black Storm, hello everybody on the chat. Hey, we love you. Thank you for, go check out Black Storm and her channel. She has an amazing channel. She's got some good stuff on her channel. Go check her out, honey. Jackie says, it is sad that our millennials are experiencing the same garbage our grandparents went through in the 60s. We need to leave the belly of the beast. Good for you. Save your pennies, child. Look. Who would have thought? I say this all the time. Who would have thought? My grandmother would never have thought. Dr. King would have never thought that his grandchildren would still be fighting the same fight. That his grandchildren would still be making signs, protesting. Okay, so what? We can sit at the front of the bus now. What? Look, y'all, I mean, really, we can sit at the front of the bus now and so whoop. What? That's it. That's all we got. We can live in the same neighborhoods. We can go bank. We can go in the front door. We can drink out of the front same water fountains. You know, they ain't clean no way. They don't want, you know, people don't wash their hands. So go ahead and drink away if you want to and pass all these germs. What did we really get? I mean, the 60s was for equality. And they still don't think we're equal. We're still treated like second-hand citizens. Still treated like second-class citizens. So what, you can go in the front door. So you go in the store and then they follow you all around the store. When you go to pay, check out, they ask you, you know, look at you like you don't have enough money to pay. It's sad. It is sad. I agree with you. It's very sad that our millennials are having to, we thought we were the golden generation who thought that we were going to do amazing things. We were in the workforce. We were having all these strides. You know, the 60s had come. Our parents had marched and had, you know, fought and done all those things. And so then what happened? We got in there and we were trying to get jobs, trying to move up, trying to, you know, and we kept hitting this ceiling. They kept talking about the glass ceiling. We kept hitting, women were hitting the glass ceiling. Black men were hitting the glass ceiling. And we kept thinking, okay, well, let's try this. Let's go through human resources. Let's try attack the, you know, with Anita Hill. Nobody gives Dr. Anita Hill the credit that she's due in standing up to Clarence Thomas and the EEOC with the sexual harassment that was happening to Black women by not only Black men, but white men. It's okay to grab and touch. You got a president now who grab them by the whatever whoop whenever he feel like it. It's crazy. And we didn't think, nobody thought that. Nobody thought that, right? Everybody's saying hello. Y'all are sweet. Y'all are just the nicest, kindest people. I love y'all so much. I'm in California now for 4 years. Okay, so you're back in Cali. Uh-oh, gotta go to Cali. Cali. All right. Yes, Black Storm. Go over and check her out. She is amazing. Sit at the front of the bus, and we came from kingdoms. Now that's some BS, right? Ain't it though? Because we'll settle for, ooh, we will settle. We will settle for any little thing. You know, I caught a lot of flack and I lost a lot of Facebook friends. I lost a lot of real friends for speaking out against, for sharing my opinion, I should say, because I want to say it in a very professional manner, but for sharing my opinion when they gave us the token, the handout, Joe Biden, we had asked for a Black VP, and we had given him several amazing African American queens, and you can agree with me or disagree, it's fine, who were up for the challenge, who were amazing individuals, and who stood for the rights of Black people. And he slaps us in the face and gives us a token. It's like sitting in the bus, right, Jake? But he gives us this token of Kamala Harris, who is a person who has jailed so many African American people. And if Jamal Truelove is not enough, he's innocent. Kamala Harris approved the $60,000 that was paid to the person who testified against him in, the living expenses for witness protection. All of this goes on, and he gives us this token of a person who does not even stand up for Black rights. I just watched her on TV the day after, her and Joe both, the day after they were nominated, the DNC ended. The next day, they were up doing their rounds on the press circuit. And what's she talking about? She's talking about not our group. She's talking about Hispanic Americans. And while I believe that the issues and plight of Hispanic Americans is important, I also have to make sure that my family and I am safe when I go out, that my family is okay. And I'm not going to dismiss what my family needs for anyone. And I'm not going to be made to feel bad because we were all holding signs, Black Lives Matter. And then soon as we get a little token, a little piece of something, you know, just throw you anything, just a little token, right? Just something, just get the Black folks something. Okay, just get them something so they go sit down. You know, they gonna vote for me anyway. You know, they always have voted Democratic. They've always voted, you know, consistently. So I don't have to work for their vote. I have to work. You're gonna have to work for mine. I mean, you know, as a parting gift, right? Yeah. As I go to Africa, because I still have family here, friends here, enemies that don't like me. I ain't got that many enemies, but people that blocked me because they didn't like my, you know, stance. But it was just the truth. Okay, we're not even a week out from the DNC, and you just had another Black man to be killed. And then in Memphis, you had a Black person to be shot, and he wasn't even the guilty party. He wasn't even the person they were looking for. Black Storm says, it is written that the meek shall inherit the earth, and the wealth of the wicked is stored up for the righteous. Come on, honey. Yes. And you know what? It goes to what Jackie said. We had kingdoms. We don't know our wealth. We don't know our wealth because of the gold. Why were we taken? Nobody even discusses that. The gold in Nigeria, the oil in Nigeria, all of the diamonds and resources in Ghana, and cocoa and gold in Ghana, all of the natural resources, all of these things. You don't understand why. And then we come over and we build a whole nation. That's in your DNA. My husband builds furniture. My husband can make furniture out of, look, honey, out of old wood, that scraps that he finds on the side of the road. I mean, you talking about Black folks having skills and can build and do anything. They can fix anything. They can figure anything out. That's why they want you in their factories and in their operations and in their companies. They want you second because, you know, they'll have a person who's running everything. But, you know, we always know that we go to the Black person. How many times have you been somewhere in an office and they tell you, yeah, he's the boss, but go around the corner and talk to so-and-so. They back up with the cleanup crew. They know everything. They run everything. How many times? Good night to everyone, says Mr. Hillary. Greetings from Trinidad and Tobago. Woohoo! In the Caribbean. Many people in the West do not want to leave because of the convenience. Easy living systems. Yes. And they don't want to give them up. Mr. Hillary, I hope you have a good night. And thank you so much for dropping by, because that is the truth. We would trade. You would literally trade all of these conveniences and not give them up. Mr. Hillary, hey, Mr. Hillary, we would not trade those conveniences and not give them up, but to die here in the West with people who don't want you, people who will shoot you at a moment's notice, even with your hands up, even with your back turned. You just shot a guy the other day. I forgot now where it was. It was today's Tuesday, maybe it was Monday or Sunday. He had a mental health issue and they shot and killed him. Black. It just, I'm ready for the meek to inherit the earth. Jackie says, Synolve, you know who you are. Friends. You know who your friends really are in this time. We are living in serious time. You better buckle up, honey. We are living in serious time. And I had a friend, it hurt me so much. I had to take off a couple of days of social media because this person, when they were hungry, literally hungry, I cleaned out my freezer, Jackie. And my husband and I drove an hour and a half away and fed this person. And when I was talking about Biden and the Kamala Harris pick, don't you know this chick blocked me on social media and blocked me from texting me? But when your children were hungry, and you didn't have any food, I was there for you. That's who I am. That's just how I was raised in Mississippi. That's just who I am. That is who I am, how I've always been. It hurt me so deep. I mean, it cut me so deep because I'm thinking, and I wrote her and I was like, seriously? She blocked me on Messenger. I was like, seriously? You gonna block me because I disagreed with you on my post on my page about Biden and Harris, and you have never met them? Never met them. Never will meet them. And I'm not, I don't understand. I don't understand. And that is the problem with us sometimes in the West. You find out who your friends are because as soon as they give us any little token, any little thing, do any little, folks put them Black Lives Matter sign up and pack them in them closets and shut the back door on, the trunk of their cars. And as soon as they said they pick somebody you had a election, you're gonna have a candidate in Joe Biden, segregationist. Look up some of the things he said. He didn't want his children to go to a jungle. Talking about the jungle schools, he didn't want them to be in a jungle during segregation. He was a friend with Thurman, what was his name? With great segregationists here in the West, Senator Thurman. These people were racist. This is the Dixie Party. This is a Dixiecrat. So they took a shower and took off their white hats, but you got KKK and white supremacists on both sides. And if you miss that, you think that you have a friend in either party, you don't. You absolutely don't. And it's time to get a relocation plan. It's time for you to get a relocation package together to get yourself to repatriate onto the list, the exit. You need an exit plan. Yeah, I found out who my friends really are. L's Place says, I don't think she was a token, but fit in the mold. It's politics. They're all crooked and in bed with one another. L's Place. Hey, L, how are you doing, sweetie? Go check out L. She has an amazing YouTube channel. She's a decorator. She's a thrifter. She is a bargain hunter and a bargain finder. So she is truly a friend. Elle has just been so sweet to me and stood right with me. Go check her out. Check her out on Instagram. She's got some beautiful pics. And she has an amazing YouTube channel. Please check her out. She's amazing. Thank you so much, sis. I agree. Not so much a token, but she fit the mold. She fit the mold of what they were looking for. And, we just have to be wise. We just have to be wise. L's Place says, I'd rather have her or Joe rather than Trump again. I think, we're going to be very much in danger. And that's just, my opinion because of the 1994 crime bill. We're going to be in danger with either one. And for me, this is why it's so important for me and my family to repatriate, because what we're being lulled into psychologically and mentally is the same choice over and over again. And it's the same choice that my grandmother had. It's the same choice and problem that Dr. Martin Luther King had when he was dealing with trying to make progress for Black people in the 60s. And that is a rock and a hard place. It's just clearly put. That is that you have these two opposing parties who basically are white supremacists or have a white supremacist thought and agenda. And what I mean by that is that they're embedded within their politics is the agenda to ensure that white people in America continue to rise, right? And they continue to have wealth So what does that mean for the bottom tiers? There are reports, economists are saying now that by 2053, that the wealth in Black America will be zero. And so if we continue to feel as Americans, as Black Americans, as African Americans, as children of Africa, that we only have two choices, and we're only given these two choices, these opposing parties, between Democrats and Republicans, who have continued to fight each other and duke it out throughout since the beginning of America, right? 1776. If you continue to see that as your only choice, then the choice that you need to be making, you can't make, because you're trapped into this system and ensuring that this system works. And so then you can't make the choice to make a decision about what's best for you and for your family. And that's what I saw. I needed to step out of the whole game. And that's what I've done, is step out of all of it and back away from all of it to say, what is the best choice for me? Not what's best for America, not the best choice for America in this moment, whether it is, I was going to say Bush, but whether, because it's all the same. They just changed the names and they have the same policies, and none of the policies are good for Black people. None of the policies improve their lives. I was just looking at some pictures and photos the other day of what the projects in the hood look like before, when Bush was in office, when Obama was in office, and now that Trump is in office, and they look the same, and nothing has changed. And so we keep going in the same cycle. And the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again. And at some point, you have to decide to step out of the loop and to decide that I'm going to choose something that is right for me. And what's right for me is repatriation. What's right for me is Africa, because I need to get out of this whole loop, because we're going to be having the same fight and the same discussion. My grandmother had this, my great grandmother had the same discussion, and her ancestors and my family before them. And we will be having it. If we don't turn around, our great grandchildren, who we will never know their names, will have this same discussion. And so when will it end? How long are you going to fight to put a fire out of somebody else's house? Malcolm, we're rushing into a burning house. We don't even know the house is on fire, and we didn't even set it on fire. They set it on fire, and now we are the ones suffering the consequences. Jackie says politics. It's a game of chess with people. Problem, Jackie, exactly what you're saying, love. The problem is they're playing chess and we're playing checkers. And even more, worse than that, they're playing chess, we're playing checkers, and we don't even have checker pieces. All we got is a connect fool. And we don't see it. We're trying to connect the dots to see, okay, who's going to be better than what? And they've jumped with a checkerboard, and they jumped all across the board, and they've gotten everything. They're wiping out the whole board, and we don't even see it because we're caught into two choices between two opposing parties, and we're stuck. Our brown skin, our Black skin, our children are stuck in the middle of it. And so it's not until you begin to pull yourself out, right? You begin to detach from the world, right? Then, the Bible talks about detaching, right? Buddha talks about this. You pull out. African traditional religion talks about being able to detach from the situation and getting a whole look and a whole view. And then you realize, oh, this ain't even my country. This ain't even my fight. These ain't even my people. I say this all of the time. Kunta Kinte in Roots was trying to get home. Why do you think they cut off his legs and all this stuff? He was trying to get home. He was not running and trying to escape to get north to freedom. He was trying to get home to Africa. When did we get so complacent and so put to sleep by the West? We're Rip Van Winkle, who slept for 100 years and then woke up, his whole life was changed. Y'all remember that, story? Y'all telling that story, your grandparents were reading that in school, elementary school, Rip Van Winkle. But we've been asleep for 500 years. What happened? Over 500 years. Why? How did we go to sleep? And how did they keep us asleep so long? And even now, when people are saying, wake up, wake up, wake up, they've been singing the song in the 70s, wake up, wake up, wake. I mean, when is it? What is it going to take? What is it going to take? What is it going to take? Mr. Hill is saying hello to everyone. Until we create a life, a real life, Wakanda, like in the movie Black Panther, nothing will change. And so Wakanda is based on so many countries in Africa. There are 54 beautiful countries. Ghana, I'm not gonna name them all, but Ghana, the Gambia, Cote d'Ivoire, Sierra Leone, Senegal, Liberia, Burundi. There's so many beautiful countries, right? And so many amazing things that are happening in Africa. Africa has by the Economist magazine and so many other economists around the world, has been named the next big future, the next big economic explosion of wealth and prosperity. It's going to happen on the continent. And we're going to talk about this in another, video, but there are multiple reasons. Y'all go ahead and start Googling, getting your research together, some of you already know this, right? Because I know some of you all have already been looking at Africa, so you're already doing your research. You already know the wealth that's on the continent. We have been so conditioned because we have been seeing only the pictures of the little babies who give your pennies only 14 cents a day. How can you feed somebody on 14 cents a day? Tell me. Your money is not going to them. This is why a lot of countries are starting to expel some of these white charities, because Mzungu charities, because their money is not going. That money is not going to those babies. If 1 cent is going to 2 or 3 cents is going to those babies, and the rest is going in these pockets of the CEOs and the leaders of these nonprofit organizations. And so they send you the little pictures. They send you these little pictures and these little packets of these starving, hungry bellies with the bellies all out. Okay, but you're not gonna see, all of the numbers of the people in America who are starving. When's the last time, even in LA, you got a huge news outlet in LA. When's the last time you saw all of the rows and rows and rows in downtown LA of homeless people that live there? You're not going to see it. But you want to go way across the water. You want to go fly, get in a plane, get your ticket, go to Africa so you can take some pictures of malnourished babies. But you don't want to address the issue of homelessness that's happening right here in the United States. You don't want to address the babies who are going to school hungry each and every day. You want to show the long lines of people who are in food lines to get these little bitty boxes of food that don't hardly have nothing in them. Don't hardly have nothing. You mean the little boxes you get? That folks been getting don't hardly have nothing in them, but a few little oranges, apples, and a few. Because I packed some. That's how I know. Don't hardly have nothing in them to feed nobody. Some of them don't even have a piece of meat in them. But yet you want to go way across to Africa, but you don't want to address the hunger and the poverty and the lack of clothing, the lack of, even running water in some areas in Mississippi or some areas in Appalachia. You don't want to address none of that. You don't want to address any of that. You want to talk about illiteracy that's going on over in Africa, but you don't want to address the fact that there are 2 or 3 in every American can't even read. You don't want to address the fact that Most sixth graders don't even read on third grade level in America. Look, until we understand how beautiful Africa is and why they stole you, you'll never understand. Until you understand the global powers that exist, creating these wars and famines, so they can show you these pictures, so they can keep you here in this country, so you can continue to make wealth for you keep their system going. You keep these wheels turning. You do it. You do it. You do it. The whole big thing with the post office. What do you think the whole big fight is? Because the majority of the people who work for the post offices are African American. I just read that report today. It's beautiful, already beautiful over there. It's already beautiful in Africa. So Black people, billions and billions of Black people everywhere. Nigeria has a larger population of people than the largest states in America. Yeah, we don't. Yeah. Jackie said, let me get off that box. But yes, we can create our own Wakanda Black Storm. We can. And it's already created. You know, we can already get together and start helping each other to get over to the motherland. And you'll see when we get there just how beautiful and amazing it already is. Jackie says the foreigners are literally removing the resources from Africa, of course, with the leaders' consent, particularly one set who like ivory. You get what I'm saying? They just raped the land, SMH. Look, it's beautiful over there. Ivory and gold. The wealth of Nigeria. My husband's asking me would I love to move to Nigeria. I would, but they millionaires. I mean, the millionaires and the money that they have in Nigeria, they make Silicon Valley look like a scarecrow, like the poorest city in America. It's ridiculous how much wealth they got. I mean, ridiculous in a good way. It's amazing. Man, we have been so brainwashed. We just don't know. And we don't know the foreign powers that, are at play, not only to keep us here, but to also go and do, rape the land on the continent. And so that's why it's important for us to go back home. We can claim our stuff, honey. Yes. I feel you, Jack. So now the person who blocked you has blocked her blessing. Let her go. And so it is. I release it. Thank you. Thank you. And so it is. Black Storm said, whew, cleansing breath, Jackie. Thank you. Thank you, sis. Thank you. Religion, Black Storm says, religion and politics will do it every time. Just leave it every time how they've used religion and politics against us. And they know we're upright people. They know we are religious people. And so they use those things against us. They do. Absolutely. Elle says, I agree with your thoughts. Look, honey, I know because we're here. I love you. I love you. You know I do. Go check out her channel. Check her. She's a sweet one. Jackie says, yes, personal destiny. And you're right. What are the policies? Exactly. The policies matter. We're going to say Black Lives Matter. The policies matter. They matter. Right? L's Place says, when you spoke about the projects, the people got to change though. Black people we got to wake up. We do. We have to wake up because there's a lot of different things going on. And I recognize that you're exactly right. There are a lot of things going on. Some of the things we keep ourselves down, and there's some things that, keep us down. And so there's just a whole mix, and we have to wake up. It's time. I agree. I feel like I wish I need a big old alarm clock in here next time, somebody, if y'all see a big alarm clock at the thrift store, y'all send me one if y'all see one out there. Well, I agree with you. Yes. Black Storm says, I don't accept that because of James 5, 1 through 6, Job 27, 16 through 19. The most night determines our wealth. The most night determines our wealth. There will be a great transform of wealth, and the word never comes back void. But here's the thing, right? With all those scriptures in tow, and a Christianity that we have inherited from the people who enslaved us in America. You know what I mean? The Christianity that we have today is the Christianity of the people who enslaved us. So we need to free our minds. Where is your wealth? And if your wealth was in Africa, would you go? The wealth transfer will happen, but how will it happen? And where will it happen? When will it happen? It does not have to, my wealth does not have to be the transfer that's going, the great transfer that's going to happen. It does not have to take place in America for me to get it. You hear me? I'm saying because we've been so trapped, we don't understand that as the children of Africa, that we have generational wealth from the ancestors that's tied to Africa. And that's our inheritance is tied to Africa. So why would I waste the pennies that I might receive here in the US when I could receive the millions that are on the continent that have been set aside for me? Because of James 5 and Job, and because of the Most High who is there for me, there will be a wealth transfer. Yes, there will be a great wealth transfer, but you have to understand that all of the wealth that is happening here in the West has come from, that's happening in Britain, that's happening here throughout the UK, that's happening here in America, in Spain. You have to understand where that wealth came from, and it came from Africa, because that's where the gold is. That's where all the diamonds are. South Africa has the diamonds, see? That's why, what is it, De Beers, that's why they're there. Congo, diamonds. Ghana, gold. That's why they're there, and that's where the wealth is. Ain't no diamonds over here. And these folks came over here for a sham. They really thought they was getting something, right? But they thought they were getting something with the Native Americans. You got a little bit of oil. That oil in Texas and those little billionaires are nothing compared to the one country of Africa in Nigeria with all of the oil. And Nigeria is not even the only country with all the oil. There are other countries. There are other countries with oil. And here we are only focused on this little bit of wealth that we see in America. And God is saying, you know, the Most High is saying, the ancestors are saying that there is immense, abundant wealth on the continent. And we are here focused on the little pieces, minuscule amount of wealth that the people in the West have stolen. These superpowers, so-called, have stolen the West, right? Yes, personal destiny, right? The Most High. Oh, the Most High, absolutely. Jackie says, personal destiny. We make our decisions for ourselves. If people insist on voting, look closely at the policies behind the candidate. Absolutely. Look at the policies behind the candidate first. That's number one. Number one. Jackie says, yes, Synolve, Africa has been talked about right here in the UK as the country to watch as far back as the early 2000s for growth and prosperity. Absolutely. Absolutely. The wealth is there. It is there. Great breakdown about the resources in Africa. Synolve, thank you. I've been studying, honey. I have been studying. And then it doesn't hurt. I'm working on my master's. I got 3 courses left. And I've been doing consistently projects about Africa. I just completed one. It was worth 350 points. And I got all 350 points. So yes. Yes, the continent to watch. It is the continent to watch. Africa is the continent to watch. The next big, the boom in population growth is going to happen on the continent of Africa. It's going to happen in Africa, in China. It will not be in America because what? You've been taught in America to only have 2 children and a dog. So maybe a cat. So that, the next big boom is going to happen. And the people who are able to buy into the wealth, it's going to happen over there. It's going to happen in Africa. It's going to happen in Africa. And look at China. Look at how much China has changed in just the last 50 years. With all of their products, all of the things that they went in and, honey, they selling cell phones. But you know what? The pieces that make the thing that really makes this cell phone work, you know where it comes from? Africa. The natural resources embedded in your phone that makes these cell phones work, where it's come from? Africa. Right? They mimic this gold color with this iPhone, but where does the gold come from? Africa. Right. Yeah. Yeah. It's in Africa. And this, thank you. I was so happy when I got my grade. I'm so happy. This morning I got my grade, and it was 350. I got an A in the class. I was like, yes, thank you, because I sure did work. I'm surprised I'm awoke because I stayed up Monday morning till 5 o'clock. But I got it in though, honey. I got it in on her desk for 8 o'clock. Monday morning. Yeah, Monday morning I got it in. I had that thing. That baby was in. Because we're intelligent people. We are intelligent people. And we have to understand this is a burning house. It's going down. This is a burning house. And the more we try to save it, the more we try to put our energy into it, the more we are, we're wasting our time. The more we are wasting our time. When your time should be spent getting out of here and transforming. The West is going down. It is a burning house. And if those who do not see the flames and the fire, pray about it. I just want you to pray about it. Pray about it. And ask the Most High to show you the full picture without you being so focused on America or the UK alone, or wherever you are in the Caribbean. Expand your vision. The Bible talks about expanding your territory. Let God expand. Let the Most High come in and begin to expand your territory. Expand your thinking, because you are from a rich and wealthy, prosperous continent of 54 countries that are rich and that are wealthy. Do your research and begin to learn about Africa, and know that there is a place for you, a purpose for you, that there is a design for you greater than any wealth you could ever imagine here in the U.S. There are billionaires in Africa, multiple, that would make the president of eBay and Amazon and Apple look like paupers. Mansions. I did an interview. If you haven't checked it out, check it out. Go look at the Bag family and the interview I did with them. They left Clarksville, Tennessee, which is just about an hour or so, 2 hours, less than 2 hours from me. They left in a mansion, a 7-bedroom mansion with 7 to 8, I think it's a total of 7 or 8 bathrooms. When they build houses in Africa, they build multiple master bedrooms. You hear me? We've only seen the poor, we've only seen the raggedy, we've only seen, and there are poor people everywhere. And so we have to look at our own house before we begin to judge and do our research. And do our research. Jackie says the Chinese are focused. You got to give them their props, honey. Yes, they are focused. Because, honey, they can come up with some Dollar Tree stuff. I was just going to say, they can come up, honey, with some Dollar Tree stuff. I love this. They can come up with some Dollar Tree stuff and make you want to and make you buy it, honey. So we got to get focused. We got to get on the same message. We got to get on the same theme. We got to get on the same vision, on the same team. And that team has to be black. That vision has to be black. That vision has to be us. We say Black Lives Matter. We need to believe it, and we need to stay on that principle, stay on that chessboard, stay on that piece until we see change. Right? Stay on it. And so as you stand on it and you stay on it, you will begin to hear the ancestors saying, baby, come on home. I wasn't brought here to be in America for the rest of my life. Meaning, they see their life, African principles, they see their life living through you. They see a continuation of life every time we are born, and every time we have a child, they see life continuing and the line and ancestry and heritage continuing and moving forward. And that's how we have to see us. And that's why it's important that we protect our lineage and we protect our people and our babies to come. And that we don't give up on the ancestors' dream. Talking about Martin Luther King. Before Martin Luther King had a dream, the ancestors had a dream. Where do you think they got it from? Kunta Kinte had a dream. Your ancestors had a dream. And that dream was always to go back home to Africa. And who are we to allow that dream to die? Who are we to allow that dream to die? It shall not die in my generation. It shall be fulfilled. We shall walk in the way of the ancestors, and we shall return home to all of the wealth and the promise that the ancestors have left for us. And we shall reclaim our heritage. And we shall rise like kings and queens. Yep, the ancestors are here. I'm telling y'all. Oh, they are here. Jackie, woo, thank you. Jackie says, I'm studying to operational delivery. I really want to teach, to be honest. Wow, that is amazing. I was just talking to hubby about a delivery service on the continent, Africa needing a delivery service, and wow, operational delivery. I'd love to hear more about that. It sounds very intriguing. I'd like to teach as well. I'd love to teach in at a major university or college. And so I've taught before at a college. My husband and I both have taught before. And so I'd like to teach again. And that's really one of my loves, one of my dreams too as well, Jackie. So I feel you on that. And that's Jackie, where are you going? Where are you relocating to? I got some ideas where I'm going, but Ghana is looking good. I'm telling you. I love the Gambia. I love Ghana. I love Ghana. I love Kenya, Uganda. They're all beautiful. I don't even know how you choose, but I'd love to hear where you think you might be going. You can email me if you don't want to put it out for everybody. We can't, we got to move in secret around here through these parts. Girl, I love me some Dollar Tree too. I can't lie. I love Dollar Tree. I love Dollar Tree. I got some Dollar Tree stuff around here, honey. Everywhere you look is probably Dollar Tree, because I love Dollar Tree. And the Chinese are genius, honey, at making those things that we need. And they know we need that we don't really need. Oh, look at this thing right here I got. from Dollar Tree. Look how cute that is. They got it in a blue, like a teal. I think I got like a light purple. And Dollar Tree, made in China. You probably see it down there. Let's say. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Dollar Tree. Beautiful though. I did a Mother's Day table setting one year, and I used these and had these on the table. And everybody loved them. I keep my vitamins in there now. So was there iron in there? There's some vitamin C. There's some iron, right? Got some Tums in there, which Tums are good for calcium, and they taste better than the regular calcium pills. So I love Dollar Tree. All right, guys, I am going to wrap this up. I am going to go. I am just so grateful that you took this time to spend with me. I needed to vent. I needed to get that out of there. You know, we can't hold this in forever, and we cannot hang on to a burning house. We cannot. It is time for us to get our affairs in order and to return, to repatriate back to the continent, back home to Africa. It's time. It is really time. So I'm excited about hearing your plans, about hearing what you guys are going to do. Jackie says, I want to visit Ghana and the Gambia first. Me too. My lineage is Ghanaian, according to my grandfather. Oh, awesome. I think we talked about that, Jackie. I think you did tell me that. I love the Gambia. Roots, Alex Haley. The Alex Haley house is just an hour away from me. So I'm about 15 minutes outside of Memphis. And so I believe that the that Alex Haley and his Kunta Kinte, his ancestor, would have come through the Mississippi River and most likely would have been auctioned off in Memphis. We have an auction. They dismantled it now, but Auction Street, where they used to auction slaves. So a lot of enslaved Africans who were brought here and from this area, I believe, are from the Gambia, although they may be from other places as well, because we all mixed and everything. So the Gambia is one of my top because of roots, because of that connection. Just want to research and see. So we'll see what my DNA says. For all I know, I could be from Nigeria. I sometimes act like a Nigerian for real. And I've joked and said my husband definitely looks like Igbo. So yeah. Jackie says, cute container. This was a nice chat. Thanks, sis. You're welcome. I needed it. So I just knew when I heard the ancestors say go on live, go on live. This will be my second live today. I'm trying to start doing 3 videos a day. We'll see how they go. Chat. Woo, work. They got me working here. So we can get these numbers up. I'm trying to get monetized. So, but I've grown. I've grown. I've come a long way on getting monetized. So I'm grateful to all of y'all for being here. Yeah. Yes, we did. What? You live near Alex Haley's home? Yeah, we live an hour away from Alex Haley's home. And so we, just from the research that we've done, I haven't done the ancestry test or the DNA test yet. But from, just that little information, it's likely that a lot of people from this area could have come from the Gambia and could be possibly Mandinka. So it'd be interesting, or Wolof. So it'd be interesting for us to see and to know. So I'm excited about doing the DNA test as well. I'm excited. Cameroon, Sierra Leone, there's so many countries. When you look at the map, the transatlantic trade slave map of where we could have come from. So I'm excited. I am just excited. You need to get your DNA done. When you do, you got to come on live with me, Jackie, on the screen, on air, and you got to share it so we can talk about it. All right. I'm so glad you guys enjoyed this. I enjoyed it. I needed this release. We just need to release it and let it go. Let the ancestors handle it, do what we're going to do, and make our plans to get on with it. I love you guys so much. I do. I wouldn't do this and be on here risking my name, my real name, honey, if I didn't. And show my real face. But, you know, and share my real opinions. You all have helped me to heal. Thank you, Jackie. You've said some kind words, all of you, just by being here, because I needed to release that story of what happened. Because I usually hide this stuff and keep it in. I just keep going. So, but I just having friends like you, I feel like y'all are family, being able to release it and talk about it, and put it out in the atmosphere and just release it and let it go is really a blessing to me. You all have blessed me so much. I always feel like you guys give me, yeah, Jackie, you sweating, but you got to come online. I always feel like you guys give me so much more than I could ever give you, because you are just here. You are just showing me and giving me all of, you know, your love and your support and your kindness, and I don't take that for granted. Thank you, Elle. Thank you, Jackie. Thank y'all so much. Thank y'all so much. Thank you, Black Storm. Thank you, Mr. Hillary. Thank you. Let's see, make sure I got everybody. Cheryl, Ruth, thank you so much. Thank you all. Emily, Beth, thank you so much. All of you who have joined me today, thank you. I appreciate you so much. You all are amazing. You are loved. You are beautiful. You are blessed. You're talented. You know what? Baby, you just are. All right, queens, y'all go and be blessed. Thank you. We need to support each other. Yes, it's plantation work tomorrow. I know. Y'all be blessed. Wherever you go, wherever you are, may the Most High surround you and comfort you, and the ancestors be with you every step of the way to guide you. All right. And so it is. Good night. Y'all have a blessed night. I love you. And I'm going to see y'all in the next video. Bye-bye.